Oh, excuse me. Just finished a full day of work and I'm shattered. Today we're using Too Good To Go again, and this time I'm off to Morrisons to pick up a surprise bag from them, and we're gonna see just how many meals we can make from it. It is so heavy. Now these bags aren't designed to make coherent meals from them, so I will be supplementing them with other things, but the main focus will be what we find within the Morrisons bag. For a sense of perspective, just look at this. This is my gym bag. That's the bag. It is weighty, it is hefty, we got some greens in, bit of coriander. We'll properly look at it when we get home. Compared to the Aldi one a few weeks ago, I think we're gonna get some decent stuff here.
He didn't.
This cost me from Too Good To Go £3.09. It's huge and heavy, very, very hefty. Okay, I have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 packs of coriander. What am I gonna do with 5 packs of coriander? Luckily you can freeze coriander, so I'm probably gonna freeze most of that. We've got a white spilt tin bread, split tin bread, not spilt tin bread. A white farmhouse loaf. I don't think this box is as good as I thought it was gonna be. 2 foot-long sub rolls, another white farmhouse loaf, another loaf of bread.
Coriander sandwich in your...
We've got 10 tomatoes, so I guess that's something. And to top it off, a single satsuma that it's split. Look, it's split, and it's so soft and squidgy that that's just gotta go in the bin. This is what we got. I kicked things off the following morning with something super simple. Toast, no surprises there. With a bit of PB&J on, you've automatically got a happy Sam. Bread was surprisingly nice too. Toasted well, decent chew to it. I rate it. I'm gonna keep a tally in the bottom corner right here, just so we can keep some tabs on how many meals we've had throughout this entire project. And I use the term meal very loosely. There's only so much you can make with bread, tomatoes, and coriander as the main ingredients. Saying that, lunch was actually great. Took 2 of the tomatoes, diced them. With those I added some spring onion, cucumber, half a pack of the frozen coriander. Might seem like a lot of coriander, but there is so much to get through. Like so much. To that, I seasoned it, added lemon juice, chili oil, and a teaspoon of chili crisp. Mixed that all up together, and I had a really refreshing summer salad. Yes, that is more toast on the side. I've got a lot of bread to get through, okay? I'm gonna use a word I don't often use to describe this meal. It was radiant. Radiant. I loved it. 10 out of 10, would have again. Feed that to me for lunch for the next month, and I'll be very, very happy. So already, we're off to a really good start. For my next meal, I took the remainder of that bread loaf, because of course I did. I mean, at this point, this video should probably just be called 20 meals that you can make using bread, but that's not what this video is. I'm not gonna make that, that's never gonna happen. Moving on. I turned the rest of that loaf into breadcrumbs. I then used it as a coating for some chicken I had marinating, air fried it. What? You thought there'd be a Sam Wilder video without an air fryer in it for once? Please, guys, come on. This is me we're talking about. I then made a sauce that contained one of my 8 remaining tomatoes, combined it all together over some rice and slapped a load of coriander over it, and boom, all 3 ingredients used again. I am bossing this. I feel like I'm bossing this. Another 10 out of 10 for that meal. It was delightful. I would highly recommend you make this yourselves. And if you want to, you should head on over and follow me on Instagram. I post recipes there sometimes. Otherwise, it's just pictures of the dog. I'll post this one though, I promise. Also, and be an awesome person and like and subscribe to this video that you're watching right now, this one. Anyway, finishing that, it was 3 meals in the bag, and I was worried about tomorrow and what it would bring. Like, what other meals could I possibly make from these 3 main ingredients? More toast? At this point, I had used 1 loaf of bread, 2 tomatoes, and 1 bunch of coriander. The next morning, I came downstairs and checked on the bread I left defrosting, and it was good to use. Guess what I had? Yep, toast again, but this time with honey on. Decent loaf this one too. Lunchtime, I made use of the sub rolls, but stupid me, I forgot to defrost them. Of course I did. So I tried to do it in the air fryer and it made them so crusty and crumbly, which, yeah, is very much my fault. So don't berate me in the comments. I packed it with tomato, pesto and fresh mozzarella and put it in the panini press. I did 1 for me and 1 for Carolina. It was good, what else to say? 5 meals down. Next on the agenda was dinner, and I decided I'd make my famous soup. So I roasted up the tomatoes, some extra tomatoes and onions. Whilst those cooked, I used even more bread to make some croutons. Bit of chilli oil, salt and garlic powder, give them a little mixy mix, and they'd go in the oven for 10 minutes before serving. Once the tomatoes were cooked, I blitzed them up with some coriander and chicken stock, and what was meant to be a tomato soup was green. Very, very green. Added some cream for a bit of creaminess, took my croutons out and served up, and yes, I did season the soup first. I'm not an idiot. This was delightful. I've had tomato and basil soup before, but not tomato and coriander, but it actually worked really well. We ate the entire batch and it was just that good. It really was. So at the end of the second day, I had used up 2 loaves of bread, 2 sub rolls, 9 tomatoes, and 2 bunches of coriander. For breakfast, I had toast. Did you expect anything else at this point? No? No, me neither. For lunch, I did the similar to yesterday's dinner. Instead of tomato, I made a traditional carrot and coriander soup.
Okay, so we're currently a beautiful orange colour. But I'm going to add this coriander. I think it might go green again.
Despite an entire bag of carrots being used, it still ended up green. But it did taste great. And yes, I had more bread with it.
How is it, Carolina?
Very tasty. You can taste the veg.
Now, the next dinner was a little bit of a cop-out. I'm not going to lie to you. I made meatloaf. But I did put in the last tomato and a load of breadcrumbs, so it sort of counts, right? Yeah, I'm counting it. I then decided to make something I've never made before. Bread and butter pudding. Just followed a recipe I found on TikTok, layered my bread, made a custard mixture that got poured over the top, baked it. I've never made bread and butter pudding before, so a lot of you might tell me that there's a better way of doing it, but I just followed a random TikTok recipe, so hope it works. It looked great. Served it with some vanilla ice cream. Sounded good. That is exceptional. Yeah. And following that, by the end of the third day and 10 meals later, I had used 3 loaves of bread, 2 sub rolls, 10 tomatoes, and 3 bunches of coriander. So look, I've got 1 loaf of bread left, 2 bunches of coriander. I could continue this and have toast, maybe a little bit more toast, maybe a sandwich, a bit more toast on top of that. Put coriander into a few more soups, a few more salads, but you don't want to see that, and I don't want to do it. So there we are, 10 meals though, not bad.